How's it going, Brad? Obviously, Georgia State had a couple of big runs on their first drive, but after that, I think you guys held them to 11 yards on their next 4 drives combined. What was the biggest adjustment that you guys made on that second drive and going forward?
Well, I guess I really want to say it was, just first game. Defense kind of just filling it out a little bit. Safety was supposed to come down and, a couple of little X and O's that we kind of missed out on that first one. But our mentality is put the ball down. So as soon as that run popped, we turned around and was ready to line up and we just put the ball down and play from there. So.
Got a couple different questions. The first punt block for touchdown, were you on the field when that happened or were you on the sideline?
No, I was on the sideline.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what was your reaction? Did you know everybody who was involved immediately? Because I got apparently some confusion initially for some guys who thought maybe somebody else got it.
Yeah. Well, Coach Limbo is aggressive. We got an aggressive state of mind on special teams, period, especially punt return. So I kind of knew it, and I kind of figured when those guys were out there, I was kind of cued in, trying to see if they were going to go for it, if it was a block or not. And then once I heard, the eruption of the crowd, I obviously knew, and then kind of played it from there. But
yeah, and Gilbert Edmond is a guy who's made a lot of plays the other night and seems to always be around the ball when he's on the field. What have you seen from him as he's gotten older and more, I guess, into the swing of things?
Yeah, well, Gilbert, when he first came in, I was in the buck room with him. So, I was able to kind of see him as a real young guy, real freshman, and kind of watch him from a distance now, from a linebacker position while he's at edge now. And yeah, he's took a lot of big steps. He's grown a lot, matured a lot. But I feel like the main thing is, man, I can tell that he's hungry and he wants to be out there on the field. And there's a lot of competition in that edge room, and I feel like that's fueling him a lot too. So they're all just making each other better.
Brad, you guys had RJ go down on that first drive for the defense. How were Nick and DQ able to kind of fit into your guys' rotation and the play calling that you guys were doing on Saturday?
Yeah. Well, it was easy for them to step up because, the whole training camp and, especially that first week of practice, we were all just talking about, being ready, that next guy up mentality. So as soon as RJ went down, I feel like DQ and Nick, they were both ready to step in immediately. They didn't blink an eye. So they came in and they filled those shoes well,
Brad, welcome back to the media room.
Good to be back, man. Good to be back.
I guess as you kind of watch Arkansas, what kind of stands out about their offense and especially a mobile quarterback like KJ Jefferson?
Mm-hmm. Well, like you said, mobile QB. He's a big guy, 6'3", like 245, 250. Big running back too, 6'2", 230 or whatever, something like that. So one is just us tackling well and flying to the ball, gang tackling, So if all 11 hats are flying to the ball, then nobody should be worried about missing a tackle because you got the other 10 coming right behind you. And that's kind of the mentality. That's one of our big goal points this week as a defense is just, flying to the ball. And I feel like we did a decent job last week of doing that, and I feel like even this week we're going to take it up a step. So
you mentioned KJ being a bigger dude. Just how do you go about mimicking that in practice, and who's kind of playing that role on scout team?
Yeah, it's kind of hard to mimic that because I don't think we have a QB on our roster that's, even close to that size right now. So I think they had like a couple guys switching in and out in that position, but there's really no way that you can mimic that. But I know in our indie drills, like we're using big dummies, big cylinder dummies to try to work on our tackling drills and stuff like that. So that's one of the ways we're kind of mimicking that.
Brad, as one of the older guys who's been through this a few times, can you share the sense of urgency with the younger guys about, hey, it's SEC season, and we got to do absolutely everything we can to be successful?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, yeah, we definitely there's a different feeling in the air, when you get into SEC play, but. From the start of the season, we treating every game the same. Every game is a Super Bowl. Every game is a championship. So we're attacking every single week like that. And last week was well, but, it's in the past now. And so we're 0-0, and we got to attack it like that. And that's how we're coming. And I feel like we as leaders and the older guys, we kind of set that standard, letting them know it's a new week, new game, and last week doesn't matter. So they kind of follow suit.
A lot of the defensive players talked pretty much all camp about trying to stop the run better. How do you evaluate maybe what you were doing during camp trying to stop the run versus what that actually looked like against Georgia State, now going into another run-heavy team against Arkansas?
Yeah, I feel like as a defense, Coach White, we always take pride in, stopping the run. That's something as a defense that if you want to be a successful defense, a top 10 defense, you're going to have to stop the run, especially in this league. So we've always emphasized that. And I think guys like really, have really like encouraged each other, encouraged teammates to do the same thing. So I don't know, that's something that we pride ourselves in, stopping the run. So.
Hey, Brad, Mo got the start alongside you at inside linebacker. What were your thoughts on his performance, and what's your relationship like with him?
Yeah, Mo Cobble's a dog, man. So that's my brother. I had Damani with me last year. That was a guy that I came in with as a freshman. So I miss seeing him leave, but I still got Sherrod here with me. And but Mo Cobble, he's a dog, and he's really came into his leadership role on this team, man. He's really stepped up, and he's a big player for us on defense. He will continue to be a big player for us on defense, leader for us in the linebacker room as well. So yeah, he's proved me right with everything I thought he could be.
Brad, were you on the field for the 4th and 1 stop that Nick Emanwari came up with on that first drive? Mm-hmm. What do you remember seeing about that play? Did you turn around and you saw Nick make that? Or
well, yeah, Nick was my free safety, so we were kind of in like a 12 personnel kind of formation. So he was supposedly down, not really in the post, not far back, and we were trying to stop that run. And I just remember as soon as I shot my gap, and I kind of stood my gap with a tackle or whatever, I seen Nick come flying through right beside me, and I'm just like, and he and cleaned it up. So I was right there. I was the first one to celebrate with him, man. Young freshman making plays. I love it.
Brad, I think this is the first time you're going to Arkansas, unless you were on the 2013 team.
It is.
That was.
It is.
Yeah. What's exciting about going to a new stadium, and kind of what's your pregame routine for on the road, especially in a place that maybe you've never been before?
Yeah. I mean, it's always exciting playing on the road in the SEC. Just being able to go in there and take over somebody else's house. But I feel like my pregame routine is the same as it always is. Just take the field, kind of get a feel for it. Listen to some tunes, get stretched out, that type of thing. Little massage before, but my mentality really is just just to take the field as if it was the practice field or at home or wherever. Like, it doesn't matter where we play, put the ball down. Like I said, on defense, that's our mentality. So that's kind of what I go out with.
I think I heard you right saying that Mo Cobble brings a little bit of leadership into the linebacker room. What in his personality allows him to do that?
Well, he's a strong vocal guy, man. Like, he's a vocal guy. He's just one of those guys that, like, when other people hear him speak, they listen. Whenever people see him do things, they want to follow him. He's just a natural leader. So I feel like that, just him being who he is, such a strong character, is just easy for guys, like him to lead, and it's easy for other guys to follow him. Thank you, Brett. Yes, sir.